Douglas citizen speaks out on Facebook about local law enforcement problems at the top. Information source: Facebook, and no news outlet would publish this. https://www.facebook.com/evelyn.wood.965558. 1 Sara Wood was live. June 28, ATM 9 p.m. Live video. At sh Julnep A028LATSL9NL0S0 Fierus EIPMDM. Under the rug, Coffee County, where's the crack at? And what really happened on the boat? 2 Sara Woods. June 5th, no time given, G.B.R. JTSDP Sousinsleer E5 ODs. I understand some concern. These allegations are crazy. The format is unconventional, but clearly effective. I haven't lost it. These posts are just a small part of what will be released. I've kept quiet for a long time for fear of compromising my future in law enforcement. I'm sure many in law enforcement are quite happy to know I'll never go back. There's no reporting system in law enforcement. You can let supervisors know, but it just depends on who you're reporting. Many have long suspected that law enforcement is corrupt. After almost 4 years on the inside, I can tell you, it is. 3 Sara Wood. Junta Esir, 27F Patent Arso 4 Arsesk at 1 MD 5 PM. Gonna go live at 4:30 to talk about why I'm coming forward with this information now as opposed to while I was employed as an officer. I've never gone live, so y'all might have to help me out. 4 Sara Wood. Junta Esir, 27F Patent Arso 3 Arsesk at 0 MD 4 PM. Chief Edmonston met with the city manager and they decide to turn the narrative into me being a typical disgruntled female. Not sexist at all. Then the chief asked officers to start contacting me in order to get inside information on what I plan to release. This is an officer's response when I called him out on it. 5 Sara Wood. Jun Seam LTS2 RCF7 DPC ASOS.ENSO 2E4 RO3 Plet MD. Officer admits to being given a hard powder, though lies about the quantity, but writes no report and turns nothing into evidence. I reported this to Chief Edmonston, who is close friends with this officer. In fact, Chief Edmonston encouraged this officer to move his family from North GA to Douglas. The chief has to request an external investigation. In this case, he does not. A bit of a conflict of interest if you ask me. 6 Sara Wood. Fayuk Names 2 DTSRP2 Olada Sokyo 1C1FR2 Me 6 PEMND. A Douglas Police Department officer who was assigned as a GBI task force agent was suspected of stealing time and lying about his whereabouts while on the clock. When the chief found out the officer was going to be investigated, he tipped off the officer. This act is known as obstructing or hindering an investigation, a misdemeanor under Georgia Law 16-10-24. Just not in Coffee County. 7 Sara Wood. J2M Nes MSF 1P9EO at 3 NR Slotose or 1EI1DP message. Media says no criminal charge, no story. Police called after chief drunkenly slaps girl, wife. Threatens job. Sheriff's office hides incident report. Ethics is number 1 in law enforcement. Not in coffee. 8 Sara Wood. Jituinsner Spomau 1N9 Pseatroud M9IU0C3SE at M. It's interesting that Coffee County magazine does this huge spread too. Weeks after I called the chief out for repetitively using the N-word. Leading by example Coffee County, y'all super wild. 9 Sara Wood. Jetunmovsk's Nano 8 Po at SSG Ensor 12 eels or 3T0 PM. That time I got into a chase with a wanted person, and rather than providing assistance, admin told my superior to assign me more office work. That officer then assigned me 3 of their cases. Cases they were assigned months ago but had never even started investigating. 10 Sara Wood. JL Unit Les BT1D8 a ton Ace Studio S4CR25 S Punt MS. I noticed the Coffee County magazine did a nice spread on the chief. Reminds me of the time he drunkenly came over and slapped my niece on the butt so hard it left his handprint. Then his wife threatened to have her boyfriend's job at the sheriff's office if they made a big deal out of it. They filed an incident report that sat in Fred Cole's office until someone found out. I'm not sure what exactly happened after that, but it was handled. 11 Sara Wood. TIS Jumneo Pop NSTL7 or L812 to 4 SMSGD8E on PM. Their narrative, she's disgruntled, she's lost it. Paper trail, paper trail. Notes and paper trails. If they don't think I've learned how to document and corroborate my statements with facts and witnesses during my time in law enforcement, bless their hearts. 12 Sara Wood. Junigit GASE8 Pogatina CLH1TCO2:3OL0 Palmer Mexi. That time I got into a chase with a wanted person, and rather than providing assistance, admin told my superior to assign me more office work. That officer then assigned me 3 of their cases. Cases they were assigned months ago but had never even started investigating. 13 Chris Sheffield. So sorry you are having to deal with this, but thank you for standing up. It will never get better unless someone challenges the current system. Praying for your journey as you deal with this. 14 Sara Wood. JTSDP Sousenslayer E4 ODs June 4th, NTG. Oh, and that one time an ounce of freshly cooked crack cocaine was given to an officer but never made its way to the police department. Y'all gonna love this story. This one comes with body cam footage. Spoiler alert, the officer still has their job. Sylvia Kirkland. Agree but I worry. 15 Sara Wood. JTSDP Sousenslayer E4 ODs. Those 2 times an investigator told me that black people couldn't help themselves from committing crimes because they're born that way. That investigator was honored by Chick-fil-A as a community hero. 16 Sara Wood. JTTR Sapuansri Orga 4RD. That one time a chief said the N-word to me 3 times while trying to get us to leave a predominantly black neighborhood because racial tensions were high, even though the vehicle stopped had an intoxicated driver with a gun. If you're interested in more, stand by. Asterisk for clarification, this was not Chief Brinson. Brinson is probably one of the best guys I've ever met. 17 Sara Wood June 4th, 2021. JTTR Sapuansri Orga 4RD. I kept my mouth shut about so many things while in law enforcement because I really wanted to continue with my job. I overlooked racist and homophobic comments because I wanted so badly to move up and be better. Ultimately, it was all for nothing. I stood up at first, then realized I would be outcast, so I kept my mouth shut. I'd give a small laugh to ensure the person making the comments wouldn't suspect that I had any issues. I can assure you, there are very good people in law enforcement. But I can also assure you, there are very terrible people in law enforcement. I intend to share my experiences soon. 10 to 12. 18 Sara Wood. Are not L1 Listuaro 3. At 12:30 Sunday night, APD was dispatched to a loud noise complaint. Upon arrival, we addressed the noise, then hung around for a UFC 2 showdown. This guy was no joke. OFC King put up a good fight, but in the end, couldn't hang. I was then allowed to play with the highest ranking fighter while my opponent played several levels down. I was hopeless face with tears of joy, but he politely showed me some combos and, most importantly, how to block grinning face with sweat. This is what the majority of my job is like. It's not combative. It's not hate-filled. There's no racial line. The majority of humans who wear a badge took the oath to protect their brothers and sisters, their neighbors and community. This is what policing really looks like. 19 Sara Wood. Fayuk Names 2 DTSRP 2 Olada Sokyo 1C1 FR2 Me 6 PEMND. A Douglas Police Department officer who was assigned as a GBI task force agent was suspected of stealing time and lying about his whereabouts while on the clock. When the chief found out the officer was going to be investigated, he tipped off the officer. This act is known as obstructing or hindering an investigation, a misdemeanor under Georgia Law 16-10-24. Just not in Coffee County. 20 Sara Wood. J2M SMSF 1P9EO at 3 NR Slodose or 1EI1DP message. Media says no criminal charge, no story. Police called after chief drunkenly slaps girl, wife. Threatens job. Sheriff's office hides incident report. Ethics is number one in law enforcement. Not in coffee. 21 Sara Wood. G.B.R Funte SPL 19 Rulamg Mitathon 9:0 Scory 3 Aselt Demti. It's interesting that Coffee County magazine does this huge spread too. Weeks after I called the chief out for repetitively using the N-word. Leading by example Coffee County, y'all super wild. June 18th, Facebook post. 22 Sara Wood. G.B.R Funte SPL 18 Rulamg Mitathon 7:5 Scory 3 PSLDF DMT. In Coffee County, this much freshly cooked crack cocaine can disappear, get an internal investigation, and the GBI shrug their shoulders. June 18th, 2021. 23 Sara Wood. G.B.R Funte SPL 18 Rulamg Mitathon 7:5 Scory 9 PSLDF DMT. In Coffee County, a chief can get wasted, slap a girl on the butt, leave a handprint, wife threaten their job if exposed, have an incident report taken by a deputy, and simply get a talking to, while Fred Cole hides the report in his office. We, Coffee County. Facebook link, https://www.facebook.com/evelyn.wood.96558